Basketball's trade deadline is now in the books. It was weird. A lot of it didn't make any sense at all. So this exercise feels futile. But we're trying anyway. Here are the winners and losers from the NBA's trade period. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. All right, here are your winners and losers. You know what? Let's start positive. Hey, does mean we're going to end on a sour note, but that's fine. We like to laugh at people. So, first winner was the New York Knicks. I thought the Alvarado move was perfect. I kind of said on the trade breakdowns, I thought Alvarado going to the Knicks was a little bit more of someone who would fit under Tibbs, but still, like, this team has really put a focus on addressing the depth that was a major problem in the past couple of title runs under Tom Thibodeau, right? Now, under a new regime, they are spreading that love out a little bit, but this is someone he grew up in New York, grew up idolizing the Knicks, all that stuff about the Garden and everything like that, and he is just a perfect fit with the attitude of this team. And this is what comes when you have a identity as a basketball team. When you have, okay, we know what a New York Knick is. They now have that. And Alvarado, I think, fits it absolutely perfectly. Up next, we have Minnesota as a winner, with Dosunmu coming in as the guard that they have needed for a really long time. This team has needed an upgrade at the guard position. Now they're getting Connolly back after a series of moves as well. But I think this does, of all the teams who are towards the top, I think this addresses a need almost as well as anyone else out there did. So credit to Minnesota for going out and getting it done, even if it wasn't like the big flashy move that a lot of us wanted them to make. But the last winner is Oklahoma City. Aside from Minnesota, none of the real legitimate challengers to the throne came out with that big time move that would be like, okay, now it's OKC and those dudes. Like, I think the title challenger tiers, I think they stayed the same coming out of the trade deadline, and that's great when you're the team that's on top. Also, I think they made a really good move. They have a ton of draft capital, so giving up a couple of second-round picks and a first that's not going to be that great for a prospect that just hasn't found a way in Philadelphia with McCain, who, Oklahoma City everywhere just has talent. So he may not be able to break through this year, but to plan for it down the road and to give you a little bit more depth when you're already dealing with a bit of an injury situation, just so smart. Such a great use of resources from Oklahoma City. Now let's get to the not quite as good. It's the losers portion of this. First, it's the Dallas Mavericks. They had to move AD. They got things back in return, so that's neat for them, I suppose. But it really just, all this is doing is extending a really depressing trade tree. And now you don't even have the superstar from the Luka trade to be able to hang your hat on. Not that you could anyway, he was banged up and all of those sorts of things. It is fully handing the keys over to Cooper Flagg, which is great. He has been a really fun story the last little bit and all season. But it is just like that last little, oh, and by the way, It's like the breakup happens and you're still kind of dealing with it. And then, oh, by the way, you notice like the hoodie that she took, or he, is at a thrift store or something. You know, like it's just like, it just kind of continues it on just a little bit more. That was a really forced example and probably not a good one, but you know where I'm rolling with it. Up next, the Sacramento Kings. These last couple are more just like losers for what didn't happen. Because a lot of the trades that did happen, I didn't love them. I didn't love what Cleveland did, but you can at least explain some of it away. I didn't love what Washington did, but you can explain some of it away. So some of this is for inactivity. And that, my friends, leads us to the Sacramento Kings, who weren't the most inactive team at the trade deadline. But I don't know how you come out of all of this still with Sabonis, still with DeRozan, still with Levine, and still with this team that makes no sense, that has basically zero, future things to get overly excited about. I get that trades are easier to happen in the summer, but you know that this is going bad, and there doesn't look like there's much room out of it. And now you just have some vets who are going to be miserable down the stretch. Like I don't know how you look at where this team is at and go, nah, man, we're good. That's really disappointing. And then the last one is the Miami Heat, as it does feel like they're hope of pushing into another tier in the Eastern Conference really comes down to their ability to try to land another big star to come there. And right now, Giannis was that one. They were all over it, apparently, and it just didn't happen. And in the end, this team just kind of stayed the same. A team that's kind of peak is, yeah, okay. That's where the ceiling is. It's not a great spot for them right now. And it really has to be disappointing for Miami and for a lot of their fans. But A, you've had some pretty good runs. You can kind of calm down. And B, this is a perpetually aggressive organization, and I think Giannis will be just as available around the draft than he is right now, and that is still going to be a destination that people want to go to. So I think the Heat will be fine. It's just this deadline to try to compete this season wasn't happening for them, and that makes them one of the losers here. Who else? Who won? Who lost? Was I wrong on any of the 6 that I mentioned? Let me know in the comments down below, or if you're listening in podcast form, make sure you hit me up on social media. I am at Primetime Klein on Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. So let me know what you think of the NBA's trade period as we push now towards the postseason.